Pangulayan. Excuse me, sir. Pangulayan. The Department of Interior and Local Government.
COMSEC, before you continue, I also see here the head of the DAR Legal Affairs Office, Yusek Napoleon Galit. Thank you, sir. Magandang umaga po.
The Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, The Department of Interior and Local Government is represented by ASEC Romeo Benitez. The Philippine Retirement Authority is represented by Attorney Maria Milagros Lezaca. The National Telecommunications Commission is represented by Attorney Andres Castelar Jr. as well as Attorney Regina Anel Cruz Velasco. The Philippine Board of Investments, the Department of Trade, is represented by Mr. Kenneth Royco. The Securities and Exchange Commission is represented by Attorney Philbert Catalino Flores III. With him is Attorney Daniel Luis Macalino, Attorney Erwin Edward P. Mendinueto, Attorney R.J. Bernal, Miss Margaret Joy Golan, Attorney Pamela Lorraine Ramos, and Attorney Gerardo del Rosario. The United Filipino Against Crime and Corruption is represented by their chairperson, Pyra Lucas. The Porac Farmers 106 is represented by Mr. Manuelo Galang and Mr. Rolando Mugalios. The committee sent invitation to the following incorporators and boards of the Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated but received no reply. The following are Ms. Ronelyn Baterna, Mr. Michelle Bryce Mascarenas, Ms. Stephanie Mascarenas, Mr. Rodrigo Banda, and Mr. Jung Gu. Also, the committee reached out to the board of members of the Lucky South 99, but we were not able to reach Mr. Marion Ryan Chua. But we were only able to reach Mr. Marion Ryan Chua. They are Mr. Julian Linsangan III, Mr. Edwin Ang, Mr. Marion Ryan Chua. The committee also sent invitation to the following incorporators and officials and board members of the Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, who are also incorporators of the Whirlwind Corporation, but we have received no reply. Ms. Josefina Mascarenas, Mr. Xiang Tan, Mr. Daniel Salcedo Jr., Mr. Duanren Wu, and Ms. Chona Alejandro. With us also is Mayor Jaime Capil, the Mayor of the Municipality of Porac, Province of Pampanga, together with Engineer Glenn Lansangan, their municipal engineer. Also with us is Lieutenant General Romeo Karamat Jr., the Acting Area Police Commander of the Northern Luzon, Philippine National Police. Ms. Andrea Domingo, their PAGCOR chairperson, was also sent an invitation, but she begged off because of medical reasons. We have the excuse letter from her lawyer. But PAGCOR is represented by Attorney Ronald O. Solis, Attorney Felix U. Villa, and Attorney Felix H. Pascual.
Legal counsel.
Clarification, sorry, they're the legal counsel, Senator. They're the legal counsel of Ms.
Former
Andrea
Chair Domingo. Thank you, COMSEC. Please continue.
The Philippine Navy is represented by Lieutenant Jessa Mendoza.
I'd like to clarify that, COMSEC. Lieutenant Mendoza is here in her personal capacity as an invited resource person. She is a member of the Philippine Navy, pero hindi po siya rito bilang resource person para sa Navy. Just for the record. Please continue, COMSEC.
An invitation was also given to Mr. Jack Lopez Uy and Mr. Gerald Cruz, but it was not sent due to lack of information of their whereabouts.
I'm sorry, what's the name again, COMSEC?
Mr. Jack Lopez Uy and Mr. Gerald Cruz. Hindi po makita yung information nila sa hindi po namin malaman yung details ng kanilang whereabouts.
These were for service of subpoena or for extension of invitation?
Invitation, Senator.
Please proceed.
Likewise, an invitation was sent to Mr. Walter Wong Long, the provincial warden of Tarlac Provincial Jail. However, the request was denied due to the absence of a court order allowing Mr. Wong Long to attend the hearing.
COMSEC, we can dispense with the invitation to Mr. Wong Long because we already heard from the provincial warden in the previous hearing at malino naman po nga na ipaliwanag at tinanggap ng komite also in recognition of the separation of powers. Thank you. Please complete the resource persons, COMSEC.
The copies of the invitations to Ms. Wenyi Lin and Mr. Simen Guo were given to the mayor's office in Banban, Tarlac, but we received no reply.
COMSEC, were those invitations or subpoenas?
No, the following are the subpoenas.
All right, please proceed.
Invitations lang po yun, Senator. For subpoena, the legal counsel of Mayor Guo received the subpoena ad testificandum addressed to her, but refused to receive the subpoenas addressed to Mr. Dian Song Guo, Sheila Lial Guo, and Wesley Lial Guo, saying that they do not represent the family members. So, yung kay ano lang po ang na-receive, yung kay Mayor Alice Guo. Also, the subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Ms. Nancy Jimenez Gamo was received by her liaison officer. A subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Ms. Jaimelyn S. Cruz, Mr. Roderick Paul Pujante, and Mr. Juan Miguel Alpas, the incorporators of Sun Juan Technology, were not served because Ms. Cruz is not in the list of residents of the subdivisions, whereas Mr. Pujante is no longer a resident of the indicated address. And lastly, according to the resident of the house adjacent to the addressee's house, Mr. Alpas is unknown to him. A subpoena ad testificandum is also served addressed to Ms. Catherine Cassandra Ong, but was not served because the addressee is not also in the list of residents or tenants in the said subdivision. The subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Mr. Conanan was received by the receptionist, Ms. Aiza Noble Franca. Subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Mr. Alberto Rodolfo de la Serna and Mr. Jonathan Mendoza were also not served due to the lack of information of their whereabouts. From the BIR, we have Mr. Attorney Ralbert John Tibayan, and from DAR, we have Yusek Casel Celeste. That's all, Senator.
Thank you, COMSEC. So, pero meron tayong report on the status of the subpoenas and also additional invitations na yung ibang sinerve na subpoena, yung ilan natanggap, but the recipients are not here. They are absent. Meron namang mga inisyu ang komite na subpoenas which were not served and mostly because either fake yung address or totoo yung address pero wala yung tao doon. So before the chair makes a ruling, Senator Nancy.
Madam Chair, just a clarification, Madam Chair. Lahat ho ba yung in-announce ni COMSEC na guest? Sila ho ba yung nakaupo dito sa lamesa? Or meron ho ba tayong mga bisita na nakaupo ho sa likod?
Meron po tayong mga bisita na nakaupo sa likod kasi hindi naman po
Kasha. Okay.
kasya.
Madam Chair, can we just request if they could just stand up para the committee would know kung nasan itong invited guests natin?
Before I request our resource persons to comply with the request of Senator Nancy, I'd just like to acknowledge the presence of our Senate President Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada. Salamat, Sen, for joining us in this hearing. So could our resource persons
Request all
Please,
our resource persons who were acknowledged to
authorize.
stand up so that you could be properly recognized na kung saan kayo nandun.
Madam Chair, baka we can also request our OSAA, baka pwedeng yung, kasi may nakikita akong resource person na nandun sa likod. Baka pwedeng ilipat sila sa harap para just in case na meron tayong tanong sa kanila, mas madali ho silang makakasagot.
So OSAA, paki-facilitate po iyon. Yung additional resource persons per agency, ipalapit sa harap dun sa likod ng mga principal nila. Salamat, Sen Nancy.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Sen Sherwin?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Madam Chairman, nakakadismaya at nakakadismaya dahil pang-apat na hearing na natin to at inibitahan natin itong mga mahalagang resource persons para mabigyan sila ng pagkakataon magpaliwanag, ibigay yung kanilang opinion, ibigay yung kanilang side. At yung ibang mga personalidad dito, nag-issue na tayo ng supina, pero parang walang respeto na ibinibigay sa institusyon at sa Senado. Para sa akin, yung pagbabaliwala nila ng supina, parang pagbabaliwala at pagwawalang respeto sa ating institusyon at sa proseso na ginagawa natin para makahanap ng katotohanan. Itong pag hindi nila pagdaluho dito ay kawalan ho yan para sa kanila dahil mawawalan sila ng oportunidad na magpaliwanag at para sa akin sinyalis ho to na meron silang alam na ayaw nilang isiwalat o ayaw nilang ipalam sa atin at meron silang tinatago. Yung hindi nila pagpunta ho dito para sa akin is a sign of guilt. Dahil ito ay pang-apat na hearing na ho natin at ilang beses na rin ho natin na nasabi sa komite kung sino-sino itong mga personalidad. Bibigyan ko kayo ng halimbawa kung gaano kahalaga po itong mga personalidad. For example po, inimbitahan ho natin yung mga incorporators at board of members ng Lucky South 99 na ito po yung na-raid noong 2022 at ngayon meron na namang problema. Inibitahan rin ho natin yung may-ari ng lupa, yung Whirlwind Corporation, kung saan doon natuklasan po yung isa sa pinakamalaki at isa sa pinaka-violenteng Pogo Hub sa Pilipinas. No? At wala rin pumunta ho sa kanila. Nag-issue ho tayo ng supina para kay Go Huaping para ipagpatuloy yung ating pagtatanong at higit sa lahat malaman kung sino po yung mga nasa likod nitong Pogo Hub sa Bamban. Pero pangalawang pagtanggi o pangalawang beses siya nang hindi pumunta ho dito, ngayon na kahit may supina, binaliwali pa rin niya yung supina na inisyu ng committee. May isa pang personalidad na mahalaga ho, yung si Ginang Nancy Gamo, no? Na lumabas po sa maraming papeles, sa papeles ng mga Go-related companies, sa papeles ng dalawang Pogo Hub, yung Zunyuan at Hongsheng. Pero nagpadala siya ng letter at hindi rin siya makakapunta. dahil raw pinagbabawalan siya ng doktor niya. Pero Madam Chairman, nakita ko yung kanyang interview Hindi lang isang beses, 4 na beses yung kanyang interview at lumalabas ho siya para magbigay ho ng mga interviews. So, hindi po katanggap-tanggap ho para sa atin na nagbibigay ka ng interview sa media pero yung formal na hearing, yung formal na pagdinig, hindi ka pupunta ho dito. At may subpoena na rin ho na issue. So, Madam Chairman, uulitin ko po yung aking motion in the past, nung last hearing. At ngayon, I will move to issue a subpoena dito po sa mga incorporators at board members ng Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated. Namely ho, si Ronelyn Baterna, si Michael Mascarenas, Stephanie Mascarenas, Rodrigo Banda, at Mr. Jing Gu. Itong Mascarenas family ho, interlocking directors ho to na present siya sa Lucky South 99 at present rin ho siya sa Whirlwind Corporation. So in other words, lumalabas parang iisa lang itong kumpanyang ito. No? Pero dahil hindi nga ho sila pumupunta ho dito, hindi natin malalaman yung katotohanan. Again, I will move also for the issuance of a subpoena to the board members of Lucky South 99. Ito po yung present na mga board members and officers. Si Mr. Julian Linsangan, who's the president and chairperson. Ito sana yung pinakamahalagang personalidad para diretso natin tanungin siya kung bakit sa kanyang pasilidad nangyayari itong mga krimen at itong mga torture na nangyayari. Si Mr. Edwin Ang, si Mr. Myron Chua, again to issue a subpoena to the incorporators, board members of Lucky South 99 Outsourcing, who are also incorporators of Whirlwind Corporation. Ito yung interlocking. Si Ms. Josefina Mascarenas, Mr. Xiang Tan, si Mr. Daniel Salcedo. Ito po yung presidente ng Whirlwind Corporation na kasalukuyan po. Maganda rin ho sana marinig sa kanya kung bakit sa kanyang 10-hectare property nangyayari itong mga torture at human trafficking. Si Mr. Duaren Wu, applicant ho to sa mga PAGCOR, itong si Mr. Duaren Wu, yung kanyang pangalan lumalabas to sa marami ring mga papeles related to Whirlwind Corporation. Si Ms. Chona Alejandre, who's also a board member of Whirlwind Corporation. And then I will move to cite in contempt those individuals, Madam Chair, who we issued subpoena to. Si Ms. Wen Yilin, Mr. Simen Lial Go, si Guo Huaping, aka Alice Go, Mr. Jan Jong Go, Ms. Sheila Yel Go, at Ms. Wesley Go. Nung huling pagdinig ho natin, nag-issue na ho tayo ng subpoena. Para sa akin ho, hindi katanggap-tanggap po yung dahilan ni Ms. Guo Huaping dahil siya po ang nasa gitna nitong pangyayari sa Bamban Siya po ang may alam kung ano po nangyari. Lahat po ng application, andun po yung pangalan niya. Siya po yung nagbukas ng pinto para makapasok po itong Pogo Hub. At marami pa tayong katanungan kung sino ba talaga ang nasa likod at sino yung mga kasama niya dito sa Pogo Hub na ito. At I will also move to cite in contempt Ms. Nancy Jimenez Gamo, the accountant that incorporated the Go-related family businesses and also the 2 Pogo Hubs. May mga personalidad ho dito na nag-issue ho tayo ng subpoena pero based on the COMSEC, mga dummies or non-existent. Pero uulitin ko na rin po, just in case na lumabas ho sila. Or also to cite in contempt Ms. Jamelyn Cruz, Mr. Roderick Pujante, at Mr. Juan Miguel Alpas. There's also another personality na crucial ho dito sa ating investigation. Ito po si Catherine Cassandra Ong na nag-issue na rin ho tayo ng subpoena pero wala ho siya dito. So I also move to cite in contempt Ms. Catherine Cassandra Ong. Nag-issue rin ho tayo ng subpoena kay Mr. Dennis Cunanan para marinig ho yung kanyang side at yung kanyang pangalan ay madalas lumalabas sa application sa PAGCOR in relation to Lucky South 99. So I move to cite him in contempt as well. Meron po hong dalawang tao ho dito na crucial. Ito ho si Mr. Alberto de la Serna at si Mr. Jonathan Mendoza. Kulang rin, hindi ho mahanap ng ating COMSEC pero lumalabas rin ho to sa interviews na nakita ko ho sa Rappler yung mga pangalan ho nito. So I also move to cite in contempt Mr. Alberto de la Serna and Jonathan Mendoza. Mga totoong tao ho to dahil nakikita ko to sa mga interviews. So again, Madam Chair, hindi ho magiging kompleto yung ating hearing and investigation kung wala po itong mga personalidad na ito. Specifically those connected to Lucky South 99 and to Whirlwind Corporation, as well as si Miss Nancy Gamo at of course si Guo Huaping. And po yung mga taong nasa likod nito without these personalities. So I so move, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Sen. Sherwin. Before the chair rules on the motions regarding contempt and regarding Pina, Senator Nancy.
Madam Chair, tayo po ngayon ay hawak po natin yung letter of explanation ni Mayor Alice at sinite po niya yung dahilan na she's not mentally fit, Madam Chair. Sa akin lang, nakakahiya naman po dun sa mga tunay na may mental health condition. I would just like to reiterate, Madam Chair, na seryosong usapin ang mental health at hindi po ito dapat ginagamit na dahilan para magsinungaling. Yun lang po, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Maraming salamat, Sen Nancy. Yes, Senate President Pro Tempore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May I know if the legal counsel or lawyer of Mayor Alice Go is present here?
COMSEC is the lawyer of Mayor Alice Guo present at the hearing. It would appear, Sen Jinggoy, Senate President Pro Temp, that the lawyer of Mayor Alice Guo is not at the hearing.
All right. May I know if Mayor Alice Go is still in the country? May we inquire from the BID if she's still here in the country?
Could we please hear from the BI? The committee would like to repeat the question to which you answered in the affirmative in the last hearing na nasa Pilipinas pa si Mayor Alice Guo. Siya po ba sa araw na ito ay nasa Pilipinas pa or
As we speak,
kung sakali umalis na ba siya?
any rep from the BID? Yes.
Yes, please approach a mic. Identify yourself, good sir. Oo.
Yes. Good morning, Senators. I'm Attorney Homer Arellano po from the Bureau of Immigration. And based po din sa latest check namin sa records ng Bureau of Immigration, wala pa pong record of departure si Mayor Alice Go.
Kailan po yung latest check na iyon?
Kahapon lang po, chinek po namin. Tsaka naka-alert na po yung mga airport natin, tsaka mga subport regarding her. So, kung magpapakita po siya, then we will know po kung ano.
Perhaps, Attorney, during this hearing, para kompletong masagot yung tanong ng Senate President Pro Temp at ng buong komite, pwede nyo i-check ngayong araw kung as far as the Bureau knows, nasa Pilipinas pa si Mayor Guo.
Yes po, i-check po namin ngayon, then we'll update po kagad, ma'am.
Salamat, Attorney. And later po, pag-administer ng oath ng COMSEC, pakisama na po kayo. Ano po?
Opo.
Salamat po. So, yun po yung status.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sen.
Madam Chair, I just read the letter of explanation from Mayor Alice Go, and in the second paragraph, ang sinabi niya, I have already sought professional help, but the medical professionals that I have consulted refused to issue a medical certificate stating my condition for fear that they may also experience the humiliation and ridicule that I am going through. Madam Chair, I suggest that she be attended by a government doctor para siguro malaman natin ang buong katotohanan. And I think this letter of explanation is totally unacceptable. Therefore, I would like to move that we issue a warrant of arrest against Mayor Go for her to attend the next hearing kung meron man. I so move, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat, Sen Jinggoy. Before the chair rules on the motions regarding contempt and issuance of a warrant of arrest, and for that, the chair thanks the Senate President pro tempore. Dahil sinabi na rin po ng SP na before this hearing, no, in public, sa media, na he is prepared to sign the arrest warrant. Bago noon, before ruling on the motions for contempt and the motion for additional subpoenas, the chair concurs with Senators Nancy and Jinggoy regarding their estimation of the letter of Alice Go. The committee is in receipt of that letter of Alice Go seeking to explain her absence again today. Wala po itong kalakip na anumang medical certificate. So the chair also welcomes the offer of the Senate President pro tempore, binanggit na rin ni SP, that the Senate could arrange for a government doctor to attend to her or kahit yung sariling Senate clinic natin dito. And also the chair recalls that in a previous also big investigation, there was a resource person there who actually cited mental health concerns, but she still testified despite her mental health issues ascertained by a medical doctor. So samantala ito pong kay Alice Go, walang kalakip na anumang medical certificate ang kanyang letter. And while with Senator Nancy, we definitely recognize the importance of mental health, we also really do not want to set a precedent in which mental health is invoked to skirt the obligation to appear before a Senate committee. And with the Senate President pro tempore and Senator Nancy, we find her claims in the letter devoid of credibility. Therefore, before the chair acts on the motions regarding contempt or warrant of arrest and additional subpoena, the chair would just like to make of record that we are in receipt of a letter from the attorneys at law of Mr. Marion Ryan Chua, Edwin Ang, and Julian Linsangan III, saying that they received the email inviting them to appear here, but they are respectfully informing the Senate that they have a conflict of schedule as they are also scheduled to file criminal and civil cases on said date. Rest assured that the cooperation of Mr. Chua, Ang, and Linsangan will be ready and available at the next scheduled hearing of the Senate. The chair will show the copy of this letter to Sen. Sherwin because these three invited persons are subject of a motion, one of the motions for subpoena of the good senator. So, at this point, the chair rules to the chair rules to cite in contempt Alice Guo or Guo Huaping, and for her to issue the warrant of arrest as moved by the Senate President pro tempore. The chair also rules to cite in contempt Nancy Gamo and Dennis Cunanan. Additionally, the chair rules on the motion of Senator Sherwin to cite in contempt Wen Yi Lin, Siemen Lialguo, Jiang Jungguo, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, and Sheila Lialguo, Wesley Lialguo, and resource persons, invited resource persons, Cruz, Pujante, Alpas, Ong, De La Serna, and Mendoza. So ruled.
Yes, I second the motion, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Nancy. The chair has ruled, and with the concurrence of Senator Nancy and hearing no objections, so ruled. Additionally, the chair rules on the motion of Senator Sherwin to subpoena before this committee invited resource persons Baterna, Mascarenas, Banda, Jinggo, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly as well, Tan, Salcedo, Alejandre, and I need to check my handwriting on this last name. So ruled. ComSec, please take note.
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, Sen Jinggoy.
this representation wants to be clarified. If the chair already ruled that to cite those mentioned by Senator Sherwin in contempt, may I know if it is automatic if we are going to issue a warrant of arrest for those persons, for those resource persons who failed to attend this hearing, Madam Chair?
1 minute suspension.
Yeah, thank you.
One and the same person. Alam niyo po, may ilan po na may duda pa sa authenticity ng findings ninyo. Sa interview sa media ng abogado ni Mayor Alice, sabi niya baka kailangan pa daw ng third party verification. Can you make an official report on your findings, Assistant Director?
Unang-unang po sa lahat, mula po sa aming direktor ay maraming salamat din po sa ating mga senador at sa itong committee na to, Madam Chair, sa pagtitiwala at sa aming ahensya, Madam Chair. Kasama ko po ngayon dito, Madam Chair, ang ating Chief Dactyloscopy upang maipaliwanag niya po ang kanyang ginawa dito sa pag-examine o pagsusuri sa mga fingerprints ng nila Mayora at ng iba pa pong tao. Nandito po si Dr. Kahanding, ang aming hepe po ng dactyloscopy upang ipaliwanag. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Assistant Director. Dr. Kahanding, opo, head ng dactyloscopy unit. Kayo po yung nagsagawa ng scientific examination at matching. Please proceed, sir.
To the honorable members of the committee, good morning to everyone. This morning, we will reveal to you the result of your request for comparison and analysis of fingerprints submitted to your end by the Bureau of Investment to be compared to the fingerprint records in our master files. Before I reveal, I would like to tell you that this identification is a unique identification given to us by the Almighty. Ito po ang identification ng tao by means of skin patterns. Sa tao lang po binigay ng Diyos yan. Yan po ang dermatoglyphics. Science deals with the study of skin patterns. Sa 4 branches po niyan, meron po tayong dactyloscopy sa daliri, chiroscopy sa palad, and podoscopy sa talampakan at ang poroscopy po sa sweat pores. Ngayon, dito po ngayon tayo sa dactyloscopy. Dactyloscopy, it is positive identification po, unique identification, infallible means of identification, meaning to say it is incapable of error, absolute perfect identification. And our result is bounded by the 3 dogmatic principles of fingerprints. we have the principle of constancy or the principle of permanency, meaning to say that fingerprints are immutable, perennial, and individual from the beginning of the third month of the embryonic period until decomposition sets in after death.
Kaya po, Dr. Kahanding, yung fingerprints nung batang o menor de edad na Guo Huaping dun sa application para sa Special Investors Resident Visa nung kanyang ina ay kaya niyong ikumpara dun sa adult fingerprints
Opo.
nung Alice Leal Guo.
Opo.
Okay po.
Kasi hindi po siya magbabago from mula nung pinanganak po tayo hanggang ngayon. Size lang po ang magbabago. Wala pong pagbabago yon. We have also the principle of variation, meaning to say that no two prints of different person nor the neighboring fingers of the same person has ever been found to be identical in all respects. Bilyon po ang tao sa mundo, wala po tayong magkatulad na fingerprints, even identical twins, triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets, o kahit ilan pa pong bata ang sabay-sabay pinanganak, wala pa rin pong magkakatulad na fingerprints. Kahit yung isang tao po, sa 10 daliri mo, wala pa rin pong magkakatulad dyan. Kaya yan po ang unique identification natin. And we have also the principle of infallibility, means that one's fingerprint cannot be forged. You can alter your signature, your handwriting, you can forge your handwriting, but you cannot forge your fingerprints. Katunayan po, ang China po, ang isa sa pioneer ng fingerprint identification, yung kay ano po, Emperor Tenzin of China, 246 BC, siya po ang nag-introduce ng fingerprint. Ginagamit po yan in signing of contracts, documents, signature. Yan po ang best signature na hindi mapo-forge. Kaya po sa findings namin, we are 100% sure na tama po at tinatanggap po ang findings ng NBI ever since sa lahat po ng court dito po. Okay, I will present to you first.
Sabi niyo, Doctor, ever since tinatanggap ang findings ng NBI sa lahat ng korte na hindi humihingi ng third party independent investigation yung mga korteng
Opo.
iyon. Salamat po. Please proceed.
Ito po yung sinubmit niyo sa amin na galing sa Bureau of Investment. Galing po sa Bureau of Investment. Ito po yung galing na sinubmit niyo po sa amin.
Board of Investments po? Ano
Opo.
po?
Kinompare po namin sa mga fingerprints ni Alice Leal Guo, Sheila Leal Guo, and Wesley Leal Guo. In comparison and analysis of questioned and standard fingerprints, one print is enough to identify a person. Because in comparison and analysis, we are not only after the fingerprint pattern, but we are after the exact location and position of the characteristics found inside the fingerprint pattern. Yun kung nakikita niyo po yung mga numbers na yan na clockwise, yan po yung mga characteristics. Kung tatanungin niyo po, how many identical characteristics are required in order to conclude that a question and standard fingerprints belong to one and the same person? Dito po sa Pilipinas, ang ginagamit po natin, 10 identical ridge characteristics. Ang sinusundan po natin, yung People versus Marciano Medina, the first case in the Philippines wherein fingerprint was used as evidence and accepted in court. Apo. Ito po ang
Kailan po yung kasong iyon, Doctor?
po,
Kailan po yung kasong iyon ng Mariano
1930
Medina?
ito po.
So almost 100 years ago.
Opo.
Salamat
Nasa
po.
Philippine reports po siya. Ito po ang enlarged photograph ng fingerprint ni Wesley Go. Ni Wesley po. Wesley Leal Go. Kinompare po natin. Ito po yung galing sa Board of Investment na pinadala niyo po sa opisina namin. Nag-match po siya dito sa fingerprint namin sa master files. Nakakuha po kami ng 17 identical characteristics. Kaya sigurado po tayo, 7 than 10.
Sorry po. Yes, hindi lamang 10, 17. Opo. Tuloy
Dito
po.
po sa fingerprint naman ni Alice Guo, nag-match din po yung isa na sinubmit nyo from the Bureau of Investment. Ito po, yung sinubmit nyo po from Bureau of Investment.
Board of Investment po,
Okay.
Doctor.
At ito po yung kay Alice Leal Guo, nasa amin pong master files. Nakakuha po kami ng 11 points. Yun naman po sa pagtatanong nyo, para ma-confirm po natin ang kanyang identity, meron po kaming enlarged photograph ng fingerprint ni Alice Guo na compare po namin doon sa fingerprint na alien fingerprint card na March 28, 2006 na compare po namin. Nakakuha po kami ng 18 identical ridge characteristics. Kaya sure po tayo ngayon na si Alice Guo po at si Guo Waping ay isang tao lamang po. Si Wesley, ganun din po. Si Wesley Guo at si Guo Xiang Dian ay isang tao lang po. That's the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Kahanding. So, hindi lamang pala yung totoong identity ni Alice Leal Guo ay napatunayan ninyo na pareho siya kay Guo Huaping, pati po yung identity ni Wesley Leal Guo, na siya yung totoong, yung Chinese name niya. And both by more than the 10 required characteristics, kundi by 18 kay Mayor Alice Guo at by 11 po ba? Or 17?
11 po.
11 kay Wesley Leal Guo. So siguro, may mahanap pa bang May mahanap pa bang third party verification na magdi-dislodge dun sa findings nyo?
Kung meron po kayong isasubmit pa, pwede po namin examinin anytime.
Sige po, magtatanong ang komite kay Emperor kung
Opo.
meron pa silang mas matibay pa
Emperor
sa
Dynasty
findings
po
nyo.
of China. First ruler in China.
Yes, 300 plus
Opo.
years before Christ. Maraming salamat po,
Opo.
Dr.
Salamat din po sa pagtitiwala sa NBI.
Hindi po talaga maitatatawa yung ipinakita nyo po sa amin. Salamat po. Ngayon, meron din naman pong lumabas sa nakaraang hearing at galing din po sa NBI na may isa pang Alice Guo na ka-birthday at kalalawigan ni Mayor pero ibang-iba ang mukha. Ano na po ang status ng investigation nyo tungkol dito? If I could go back to the Assistant Director Magno. Or si Dr. Kahanding din po ba iyon? Okay.
With regards po doon sa paghahanap sa kanilang mga address, ay binigay po natin yan sa trabaho sa ating Organized Crime Division po natin. At kung pahintulutan niyo po, ay nandito po sila para ibigay po sa inyo ang tamang report.
Yes, please, Assistant Director. Kasi concerned po ang komite kung kumusta na ba yung isang Alice Guo na yan at nasaan na ba siya at anong kanyang kinalalagyan.
Bago po sana, Madam Chair, ang si Dr. Kahanding daw po sana, i-report niya rin po yung paghahalin tulad doon sa isang Alice Guo at kay Mayora Guo kung pahintulutan niya.
Madam Chair?
Yes, bago yung si Dr. ulit si Nancy.
Just clarification lang, Madam Chair. Kasi parang may nabasa ako news article na 4 yung Alice Guo. 4 po ba or 2 yung nag-a-appear na of the same name?
Ilan na po ba ang na-identify na Alice Guo ng NBI, Assistant Director Magno?
Madam Chair, meron po kasing lumabas na the third Alice Guo. Ito po ay ang binigay na report ng aming director. Ang ibig niya lang pong sabihin ay isinalin tulad niya po na ang isang Alice Guo ay yung Mayora Guo at yung pangalang Alice Guo at yung sumunod po ay yung pong nahanap namin sa aming files na isang Alice Guo na may kakaibang larawan po sa kanyang certificate, Your Honor. So, dalawa lang po. Dalawa lang po.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Sen. Nancy. So, Dr. Kahanding, yung presentation nyo sa pagkumpara nyo ng fingerprints ni Alice Guo o Guo Huaping at yung isa pang Alice Guo na nasa NBI files.
Papatunayan po natin na yung clearance applicant po na Alice Leal Guo na nag-apply ng NBI clearance noong November 3, 2005 ay iba po sa Alice Guo na tinutukoy na si Mayor. Malayo po yung fingerprints niya. Pwede ko pong ipakita sa inyo. Sa pattern pa lang po, ibang-iba na. Malayo po. Hindi po siya yon. Pero dun sa comparison naman po natin ng fingerprints dun sa ating alien card, ito po, nakakuha po tayo ng maraming puntos.
Saan ang fingerprint?
Yes, Sen.
Sorry.
Jinggoy.
Saan ang fingerprint ni Mayor dyan?
Ito po.
Yung isa?
Ito po, yung isang Alice Guo na nag-apply ng NBI clearance noong November 3,
2005.
po. Nauna pong nag-apply ito.
Alright. Kailan na sinabit yung fingerprint ni Mayora?
Ito po, 2006 po. March 28, 2006. Kaya nauna pong nag-apply ng NBI clearance, yung hinahanap niyo pong Alice Guo na iba ang mukha, na hindi yung mukha ni Mayor.
Alright. Thank you.
Salamat, Sen. Jinggoy. At salamat, Doctor. So, hindi lang sa mukha, magkaibang tao, mismo sa fingerprints, magkaiba talaga. Salamat, Doctor. So, Assistant Director Magno, yung magpe-present po ng report dun sa isa pang Alice Guo.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm Special Investigator Edgardo Cada. Our team was dispatched on the 26th of May to verify the Alice Guo na nag-apply po ng NBI clearance. And then based on open source, the only Kalanchawa Street appearing on the internet is located in Project 4. Instead, since the clearance did not indicate whether it the barangay, we immediately proceeded to Project 4, Madam. And we found out that the actual resident of 138 Kalanchawa Street is our spouses Perry and Josefina Publico. And they claim that they lived there for about 60 years.
60 years po.
Yes po.
So, way before yung 2005
They are
application.
resident of that place for about 60 years. And they never met Alice Leal Guo.
So, hindi po nila naging, kunyari, boarder or renter
Never,
ang isang Alice Guo noong 2005.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ano po ba yung Alice Leal Guo? Siya po ba ay one size fits all na pangalan na pwede na lang applyan ng clearance?
So after our verification of Project 4, we proceeded to Barangay Toro in Project 8 to verify whether Kalanchaw Street is also may be found at the Project 8. But we were able to talk to the Barangay Secretary of Barangay Toro that he claimed that the clustering of street are named after mountains and planets. So wala pong Kalanchaw.
And investigators, sir, meron din po ba kayong update sa mga kapatid ni Alice? Halimbawa, si Sheila Guo. Dahil ang address ng Sheila Guo ay isang Kalantiao Street din.
Nag-try din po kami, Madam, pero based on the certification issued by the several barangay chairmans, ma'am, barangay chairman of Baisa, which is also on Project 8, barangay chairman of Barangay Toro, and barangay chairman of Sangangdaan. There appears no Alice Goo, Wesley Go, Amelito Go, and Amelia Leal, ma'am.
So far, dun sa misteryosong paggamit ng pangalang Alice Dialgo, paggamit ng address ng Kalantiaw, may nabubuo bang teorya ang NBI? Kung meron bang parang, sabi nga din ni Sen. Nancy kanina, nakapark ng mga pangalan o nakapark ng mga address na ina-access ng mga nag-a-apply para sa clearances under false pretenses.
So that the applicant secured NBI clearance to mislead anybody, ma'am.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, Sen. Jinggoy.
Mr. Kawada, bago mag-apply yung isang tao ng NBI clearance, ano hinihingi ninyo?
Either they will submit two identification card and birth certificate.
Wala kayong hinihingi ni barangay certificate na nakatira siya doon sa...
Any government issued ID, sir.
At?
Government issued ID.
Okay, base sa mga sinasabi mo, tila mo kang wala na yata tayong pag-asa na makita yung isang Alice Lealgo.
We are still doing our best, sir, to locate these personalities.
So kung hindi ba kayo humingi ng tulong sa iba't ibang, alimbawa yung ating Philippine National Police, hindi ba kayo humingi ng assistance para tulungan kayo?
We seek assistance from other agencies, sir, like LTO.
So do you think mahanap nyo itong isang Alice Go?
Yes, sir.
Do you think so?
Yes, sir.
Can you give us a timetable?
There are also other teams locating these personalities, sir. Like
So
our,
you can give an assurance before this committee that you can find her, you can locate her. The other Alice Go.
Assistant Director Magno.
Mr. Chair. Madam Chair. Opo, sinusubukan po nating hanapin hanggang ngayon ng itong mga tauhan po na to, no? Ngayon po, with your indulgence, Madam Chair, mayroon pa po kasi kaming nakita sa ating records na lumalabas na ang si Sheila, si Wesley, at si Alice Goo ay sabay-sabay pong nag-apply ng NBI clearance. Ito po ay nakapetsa nung nakapecha po ito noong 2021. Sabay-sabay po sila nag-apply. Apa. At meron po rin tayong nahanap na isa pa pong NBI clearance, no, sa aming files na nagngangalan din pong Sheila Goo Ilial. Subalit sa ating pagkukumpara ay lumalabas po na iba rin ang larawan nito kaysa doon po sa Sheila Goo na sinasabing kapatid. At ito po ay kasabay din ng application ng nauna pong Alice Goo na may petsang November 3, 2006 para po sa katanungan ni Madam Chair. Yes, Mr. Senator.
Hindi, may balik ko lang yung tanong ko rito kay Mr. Kawada. So can you give an assurance before this committee that you can locate her in due time? Kasi sinama mo, you were confident kanina with your answer that you can locate her.
Sa mic po, Special Investigator.
we will try our very best, sir, to locate.
Dahil palagay ko siya na lang yung missing link dito sa investigasyon na ito.
Yes.
Alright, thank you.
Madam
Salamat, Sen. Jinggoy. Yes, Sen. Nancy.
Sir, nung nag-apply ho ba yung isang Alice Goo noong 2005, was she issued the NBI clearance?
Meron po.
And
Madam Chair.
nung nag-apply naman ho si Mayor Alice noong 2021, was she issued an NBI clearance?
Meron din pa. Madam Chair.
So hindi ho nag-appear dun sa database dyan na noong 2005 may isa pang Alice Go.
Ang nangyari po kasi ay noong 2005 ay iba pa po ang sistema natin noon. Manual po ito. Ito pong mga since 2015 po ay dito po tayo nag-umpisa na magkaroon ng automated application po ng mga NBI clearances. Pagdating naman po dun sa tanong mo ma'am ay hindi po ba nag-alarm na merong same name, no? Usually po ang mag-a-alarma lang po sa ating sistema ay sa ating criminal history system. Ibig sabihin po kung kayo po ay nakasuhan, ay doon pa lang po lalabas yung pangalan nyo na kayo po ay may kaso. Pero kung wala naman po kayong kaso, nagkakaroon po, katulad ng nung nangyari na ito, na parehas ang pangalan, pero lumalabas na parang magkaibang tao at magkaiba rin ng fingerprints. Dito lang po natin na-check nung na-retrieve po natin ang ating mga files, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, in light of this discovery, I think baka kailangan gumamit yung NBI ng technology wherein kahit yung data was acquired before 2015, masasama pa din dun sa sistema nila because apparently hindi na-alert ka agad nung nag-apply ng 2021 kasi merong data in possession ng NBI na hindi niya nasama dun sa system nyo. So, Madam Chair, maybe as part of your committee report, the committee can propose kung paano mabibigyan ng solusyon because I would assume na marami pang cases, marami pang data ang NBI before 2015 na baka nagagamit na ngayon as for them to get an NBI clearance at alam nila na hindi sila mag-a-alert kasi nga alam nila na yung data ng NBI hanggang 2015 lamang. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Sen. Nancy. Very well taken. Isasama po
Salamat
natin
po.
iyon sa recommendation sa committee report. At sana mauna na rin magsimulang kumilos ang NBI para linisin lahat ng datos even from the manual system pre-2015. Lalo na dahil sa lumalabas sa investigasyong ito.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I may. Sa tulong po ng mga pondong ibinibigay ng ating Kongreso at ng Senado, ay naumpisa na po natin na pag-aralan at mag-procure kung katulad po ng sinasabi ni Senator Nancy, yung po nating tinatawag na APIS o yung Automated Fingerprint Identification System. Ito po ay kung once na nandyan po, i-integrate po natin ang ating data na mula pa po noong 1930s ay meron na po tayong data sa mga fingerprints, no? So ito po ay yung matagal na nating pinapangarap at sa tulong ng ating Presidente at ng Kongreso po ngayon ay sinisimulan na po natin yan. Malaki po ang naibigay na pondo ng administrasyon ng nakaraan at sa ngayon po. At yan po ay pasasalamat din ng NBI at nag-umpis na po tayo na ma-automate ang ating fingerprint, ang ating national clearance system. Your Honor.
Salamat, Assistant Director. Paki-keep updated ang Kongreso dun sa paggamit nyo ng budget na iyan at paano kami patuloy na makakasuporta dito sa hinihingi naming paghihigpit pa ng pag-monitor at paggamit ng datos at ng database ng NBI, lalo na laban sa identity theft at saka mga krimen. Additionally lang po, yung isang Sheila Lialguo, na-locate nyo na rin po ba?
Hinahanap na rin po, Madam Chair. Parehas din po yung address nila na ibinigay, yung number 83 Kalanchaw. So, katulad po nung naunang report ay non-existent sila doon sa lugar na yon. So, hinahanap po natin sa pamamagitan pa ng ibang pamamaraan po.
At dahil lumalabas na parehong kaso dun sa Alice Lialguo, Sheila Lialguo, na merong iba pang mga individual na may ganung pangalan, meron din ba kayong ang NBI na suspetsya na pati yung Wesley Lialguo ay merong isa pang Wesley Lialguo na maaring ganun din ang address sa Kalantiao Street?
Sa kanila pong application, yung bago po, no, bamban na po yung pero chinecheck po namin ngayon yung database. So far po kasi yung Sheila pa lang po yung nakuha namin.
yung Wesley po ay nahanap pa po namin.
Salamat. The committee would appreciate, Assistant Director, yung update dyan. At siguro, kasi kung pati yung Wesley Algo ay merong isa pang Wesley Algo, so parang yung identity theft, hindi lang talaga solong enterprise, baka clustered, no? Group na identity theft. So may dagdag na implikasyon pa rin yun sa atin.
Opo, tama po kayo. Katulad din po ng nabanggit ni Senator Jinggoy na parang lumalabas po na ito ay isang systematic scheme na katulad po nung na pwedeng magamit sa pagnanakaw o pag-assume ng ibang identity ng mga kababayan po natin.
Salamat po, Assistant Director. So, yung isa pang synonym ng systematic ay syndicated. So, susundan po ng komite with interest yung efforts po ng Bureau. At salamat pong muli. I'm really hoping for a continued fruitful relationship ng aming komite sa NBI. Salamat po.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, Sen Jinggoy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Siguro pwede natin tanungin ng Bureau of Immigration ulit kung itong mga binanggit ng mga personalidad ay kung meron silang record na nakaalis dito sa ating bansa o whatever.
Yung ating pong resource person kanina na lumapit for the Bureau of Immigration.
Yes, Senator.
Yes,
Sorry, hindi po kami.
Attorney Arellano, the question please of Sen Jinggoy.
Yung mga iba pong mga na-mention so far, wala po kaming mga i-double po check po namin yung mga records. Pero as of today, when we check, wala po sila mga derogatory records. Especially doon sa yung family nung si Go Waping. So, i-check pa po namin.
Then, lahat yung mga Mr. Manawag ba yan? Manawag? Ano pangalan mo? Attorney? Sorry. Attorney Arellano.
Opo.
Lahat yung mga minention na pangalan dito sa hearing, si Wesley Go, si Sheila Go, baka pwede nyo halongkatin doon sa mga database nyo kung baka nakaalis na dito sa bansa o kung meron silang travel records.
Yes po, Senator. Submit po kagad namin.
Okay.
May sinabit din po kami kanina. Nandun na po yung ibang mga pangalan tsaka yung mga travel records ng pamilya ni Go Waping po. So, dadagdagan na lang po namin.
Okay. Salamat.
Salamat, Sen Jinggoy. Actually, just to remind us, nung nakaraang hearing po, yung resource person ng BI, sinabi po sa amin na as of your records on that day, nakalabas na ng bansa yung mga magulang ni Alice Dialgo, yung kanyang ama at si Wen Yilin. So ang na-ascertain lang in the last hearing was sina Mayor Alice Go at yung kanyang mga kapatid ay nandirito pa. So paki-update na lamang po ang komite kung yung silang magkakapatid kasama si Mayor Alice Go ay nandito pa sa Pilipinas as tinatanong ni Senate President Pro Tempore.
Yes po, Senator.
Salamat po, Attorney Arellano. And before we move to, I'm sorry. Yes, of Sen Jinggoy. Attorney Arellano, paki-update nga po, may follow-up question si Sen Jinggoy.
May HDO.
Last time kasi sabi nyo, may ILBO. Pero may HDO na po ba? May hold departure order na po ba sina Mayor Alice at kanyang mga kapatid?
Sa ngayon po, wala pang... ang meron po kami, naka-alert pa lang po, pero wala pa pong HDO kasi wala pa po kasi silang criminal case at saka wala pa rin po silang immigration charges pa po, wala pa po. So, sa ngayon, naka-alert pa lang po sa amin.
Kung nakaalis na ng bansa yan, paano magagawin natin?
Naka-alert na po siya sa amin sa airport saka sa mga subport. So we'll make sure po na hindi po sila makakaalis. Lalo na po kung maglalabas na po ng contempt order ang Senate, lalong may basis na po kami lalo para.
Alert, attorney. Ano ibig sabihin pag-alert? Pag-alert,
Naka-alert po yung mga airport na ang mga airport sa natin.
hindi siya pwedeng umalis?
Under the circumstances po ngayon, hindi po siya paalisin.
Kahit naka-alert status lang? Kahit walang HDO? Imposible naman yata. Kung naka-alert status lang, di pwedeng umalis yan.
Ang directive po sa amin, hindi po siya paalisin. Ang directive po sa amin, Senate. At saka nag-issue din po si SOJ ng ILBO dun sa mga personality na to po.
But they are only on an alert status. anytime they can leave. Can you kindly educate this representation? Kasi ako may HDO eh.
Yes po.
Oh. Kung nasa alert status lang ako, pwede ako umalis. Oh.
Kung nakailbo po, legally, pag nakailbo, ang duty po ng BI is to inform yung mga law enforcement agencies na interested dun sa tao, to inform this person na this person is trying to depart the country, and kung wala po kami makukuha ang warrant of arrest, hindi po namin pwedeng pigilan under the rules.
With the permission of our Senate Pro Temp,
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Sen. Nancy.
Because I think kailangan natin ng court order for a hold order, para hold departure order. So, meron na ho bang government agency na humihingi sa korte ng HDO?
Meron po ba among our resource persons? Or additionally, Attorney Arellano, kapag napirmahan na po yung citing in contempt sa Liago siblings and other persons, at in effect, matitrigger na yung pag-issue ng warrant of arrest from the Senate, hindi po ba yon may effect din ng whole departure order?
Magkakaroon po ng effect ng whole departure po yun kung mag-i-issue po ang Senate ng warrant of arrest sa kanila po.
Saka additionally po, Attorney, di ba may kaso na ang DOJ kay Mayor Alice Guo and others para sa qualified trafficking in persons? Hindi po ba effect yon ng... excuse me, Attorney, I'll ask the DOJ, USECT, hindi po ba yung paghain ninyo ng human trafficking case laban kina Mayor Alice Guo, may epekto na rin ng whole departure order?
Ma'am, the ILBO po was a result of the filing of the case against Mayor Guo. So presently, we are constrained to be limited only to the ILBO as pursuant to jurisprudence. If you remember, there was jurisprudence back during the time of Pinoy when President Jammeh attempted to flee, and the Supreme Court ruled that any attempt to restrain the travel of people who are pending preliminary investigation is unconstitutional. So presently, we are limited only to the ILBO. However, should the DOJ find probable cause to indict Mayor Guo or the other respondents, we will immediately apply for a whole departure order from the court.
Salamat, USECT.
I understand it is only the courts who can issue the whole departure order. So kung may kaso, you will apply from the courts?
That is correct, Mr. Senator.
Ngayon at wala pang kaso, meron ba kaso? Ano mga kaso na file na?
A preliminary investigation pa lang po.
PI pa lang?
Once ma-indict po kahit sino ng respondents, pwede na po kami mag-apply ng whole
Now, if
departure
we issue a warrant of arrest, if the Senate issues a warrant of arrest, are you going to apply HCO from the court? I'm not a lawyer, so kindly educate me.
Ang whole departure order, the basis of that is a criminal case, Your Honor. But we can coordinate with the Bureau of Immigration to ensure that the warrant of arrest is sufficient basis to restrain the travel of anyone who's subject to the warrant of arrest.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sen. Jinggoy. At salamat din sa DOJ at sa BI sa ganong assurance sa committee ito na once ma-issue yung warrant of arrest ng Senado, it will trigger an HDO. Salamat po para doon. Before we go to PAGCOR, for clarity, I wish to reiterate the persons cited in contempt and the persons to be issued subpoena. So the persons cited in contempt are Alice Guo or Guo Huaping, Nancy J. Gamo, Dennis Cunanan, Wen Yilin, Seaman L. Guo, Jian Zhong Guo, Wesley Guo, and Sheila Guo. The chair of this committee is ordering the arrest of the person cited in contempt to be submitted to the SP for his signature. Additionally, the persons to be issued subpoena are Jamie Lynn S. Cruz, Roderick Paul B. Pujante, Juan Miguel Alpas, Catherine Cassandra Ong, Alberto Rodulfo A.R. de la Serna, Jonathan Mendoza, Ronelyn B. Baterna, Michael Bryce B. Mascarenas, Stephanie B. Mascarenas, Rodrigo A. Banda, Jing Gu, Xiang Tan, Daniel Salcedo Jr., Chona E. Alejandre, and Duan Ren Wu. Once more for the record, Sen. Nancy.
Yes, I second the motion, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Sen. Nancy, for the seconding and hearing no objection. Once more for the record, I so rule.
Alright. Ayan.
So,
Umabot na naman tayo.
Salamat. And moving now
Maraming salamat
to
po.
PAGCOR, Chairperson Tenko, please. Sir, I wish to go straight to the point.
Maraming
In your media interview, sinabi niyo po na
Ayan. Hanggang dito na lang po muna ang ating pagla-live mula sa Senate of the Philippines. Dahil nakakahiya mga aminin ang ating mga senador ay hindi ko alam. Dahil pinapabayaan nilang makapag-practice pa siya dyan sa Senado ang isang convicted, ano? Nakakahiya man sabihin, pero yun ang totoo eh. No? Tinatawag na honorable pero isang convicted. Huwag po nating idahilan na ang isang convicted senator ay hindi pwedeng tanggalin dahil binoto ng tao, ano? Ibig sabihin, pwedeng maging dahilan ng lahat yan. Dahil isa kang elected official, hindi ka na pwedeng galaw-galawin ng kahit na sino. No? Magkaroon sana naman tayo ng anong tawag nito? Magkaroon naman sana tayo ng konting respeto sa ating kahit binoto ng tao yan, hindi natin pwedeng idahilan na dahil binoto ng tao, kailangan gampanan niya ang kanyang mandato. No? Yung mabuso siya sa kanyang sarili. No? Hindi naman alam ng tao na ikaw ay isang abusado. Kaya nga dapat magpakatotoo lang tayo, no? No? Nakakahiya man sabihin pero yan ang totoo eh. No? Hanggang dito na lang po at maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga dumaan. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nakiisa sa araw na ito. Kaya abangan niyo po ang mga susunod nating live. Maraming salamat po at God bless us all.